この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Orb episode 16, and it is time to open the next chapter of our story. A chapter that, as it turns out, is inscribed onto the skulls of dozens and dozens of peasants. What a cool idea. What a cool reveal. The torch has been passed on to the next generation from beyond the realm of death, and it is now up to Grabowski to reach out and Grabowski his turn. It seems like he's got the ideals lined up. It seems like he's got the motivation. And now we just have to see what was written in those books, how it inspires him, and where it goes from here. I'm deeply curious to see what's going to happen next, because this was a hell of a twist. We've still got a bunch of things going. We've got a question about where Yolenta is off to, and whether we will turn our attention back to her. We've got curious dealings within the church, from Antony, with Novak in relation, and with these other inquisitors being uncertain about their roles, and one of them losing his life for it. But the real question is, where does the information go? That's what we're following along this story. We're going to open with Grabowski figuring out what's in the text? Or is something more unexpected going to happen? I don't really know. We're going to have to watch this next episode of Orb to see where our story is going to take us, and I'm really excited for it. Before we get into it, I'm going to pull down the camera and do a drawing as usual, and then we'll get right into the next episode. And done. Simple. Makes sense, right? Simple. Something that I like about this that I just added at the very end was these, lines of light or, I don't know, emphasis or something. But what they read as to me is, some of the torches that I've drawn before, or, the flaming chalice sort of thing, has those similar things. So it's almost like a through line, this is just a book in a head, but it carries the torch, right? The light is still coming from within it. I like that. I should probably erase all the pencil. Yeah, that makes it look a little bit cleaner. Book proportions are a little fucked, but that's okay. Okay, wham bam, and we're ready to go. Okay, I've just pulled up the episode 16. It's time to begin the operation. But the opening frame, it's not translated. It's 25 and then a kanji and then a kanji. Does that say 25 years later? Hold on. I don't have a Japanese track, but I do have 25 ans plus tard. After. God damn it. I was completely prepared to be following Grabowski with the books. We're gonna time skip? Holy shit on a shingle. We're gonna time skip 25 years? Novak's gonna be an old dead man. Grabowski's gonna be an old man. Yolenta's gonna be a lady. She's gonna be in her 30s, in her late 30s. Holy. Okay, I'm taking a moment here at the beginning to just sort of process that, which is gonna help me not have to process it during episode. And this will allow me to just, engage with what actually happens on screen, because I did not expect this. It's time to begin the operation 25 years later. Okay, I've settled down. Let's watch the episode. Episode 16 of Orb. It's time to begin the operation 25 years later. Let's begin, I suppose. There'll be two versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, early access on the Patreon, and a beep-beep timer to count you down. Let us travel through time, y'all. Orb time. Okay. totally novel circumstances. What is... Oh, we're gonna meet those Templar-type-y people. Things have evolved, haven't they? Who's inside? A heretic? This is familiar. Without revealing who it is, it's just a big question. Would it even be anybody that we know? Probably not. We don't know this guy. Schmito. What's your deal, Schmidt? This doesn't feel like torture. What? We got an anti-church heretic freeing organization? That's weird. Hey. This is all build up for this character Schmidt, huh? I am not a heretic. I am working for God, not against him. Unblemished by human ideals. The church stands in the way. I dig it. I wonder where Anthony is. It's 25 years. Wonder how much he's ascended. You didn't listen to him at all. Because that's what he is. Hmm. My mind went humanist, but fair enough. Almost a pantheist? No, okay. It reminds me of like the personal relationship with God that gets created out of the Protestant Reformation. I know that this is actually a philosophical school. I'm gonna have to go look into it. Yeah, what if your interpretation is wrong? Back to the fate that has been given to you. True believer. God is all around me, right? Are we gonna get a new OP? Who is it? Whoa. There's our starting line. His face has been encased. It's this guy. It's dude who's among the Inquisitors. He's getting the eye line. What the shit? We really are in a new chapter. Who are you, mystery man boy? I mean, I assume with those eyelashes, this might be a female character. I have no idea. Whoa, alone, no Novak. Oh, we're replacing characters, tossing the cross. Oh man, it's like opening an entirely new show. It's like a new part in JoJo's. It's so cool. I really like this through line. Okay, we're still showing the others. Was that our Inquisitor guy? We keep them in place because they're where we're going. Oh, we have that was the book. That was old Novak. That was the necklace with scars. That's Yolenta. What the fuck? Mustache Man? Oh, the layers here are cool. That's Yolenta, isn't it? The necklace with all the scratches on it was really interesting. Huh. Oh! They snuck in! Huh. I think the guards are your traitors. I think they are the guards. Oh, never mind. They're just confident. Haha, no problem. Well, they're gonna be really badass, aren't they? What are they? Are they Templars? They're Templar coded, but they're working against the church. Hmm. Hmm? An object? We're dropping through the floor, aren't we? What's in the bags? Is it an explosive? Difficult doesn't mean that we don't have a plan. Oh? Oh? Run away! No. Oh, it's explosives! Uh-oh. Cannon's taking over. Mm-hmm. Saltpeter? Oh. Dogan! Yeah, Dogan. Oh shit, it's right next to all of them. Are those just bags of gunpowder? They have the big shields! Enormous, explosive riot shields. Amazing. You guys are insane. Oh. Not quite smokeless. Okay. Good carrying. And yours doesn't come off, does it? Excuse me? What are we here for? Oh, it does come off. He's Mustache Man! Who the fuck are you, mustache man? Where didst thou comest from? Hey, cool. He reminds me of a character from Boji. Boji. It's because of the zigzag mustache. The cause grows. This is cool. We have freedom fighters. We've got like an asymmetric type of warfare with particular goals. What did they get from? Oh, we've heard about this. This has been set up. What is this disgusting initiation test? Burn this book. You have to divest yourself from it. You have to separate. Okay. Yeah. Turn against everything. Hmm. Are you at a place where you can actually enter our world? You have to give up what you think you know. Your cup has to be empty. Whoa. But can you give up something that's so deeply indoctrinated into you? So you won't go far enough. That's what I was going to ask, because he says at some point that he does believe in God, that he is with... Hmm. Hmm. I wish I could grab what philosophical or theological school this is. Oh. As it should be. Oh, whoa. So we completely say we don't interact with truth. Huh. I actually don't like his attitude, for the most part. Hmm. But we can't be on the same side. What about the other two? No, guess not. They'll follow in his footsteps. Are these the scribe down heads? Wow. How does he know of them? How does it connect? Who's the leader? Is it a girl? We're not using any sort of gendered language with the leader. I bet. Home. Maybe? No, an abandoned village. Okay. And there's our cross on a string that's going to be thrown into the fire at some point. Whoa, whoa! Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, oh, burning all the crosses. That's weird. Boy is the boy, isn't he? Like, main guy. Guy who gets the eye line in the OP. Why were they burning all the crosses? There's that line again. Hey, no fleeing. No. No. They've turned against the church. Okay. Got a cute little moment. What's gonna go horribly wrong here? God. War. Then a rich man. Yeah. As you are taught. Somehow those teachings don't seem to filter into the church. Right. Right. Slave morality, right? This is very straightforward. We're being exploited. Hmm. Hmm. Things have gotten worse. We're presenting a world that's much more ready to change, where people are already turning. Hmm. God damn it. You're gonna kill your brother over this? The kid. Whoa. Running time. Good. Fuck. Not good. Run! Run, boy! He's gonna keep that. We gonna transition on the cross? Yeah, you run, boy. Fuck that. So this is that village. 25 years later. Oh, maybe not. The plague. Oh, so many things. We've got the nobles warring. We've got the peasants being exploited to no end. We've got plague hitting. Familiar. Not the same room, of course, right? I wonder if any of it's in code. Whoa. Ah! Ah! Oh, that's not him. What did he take out of the... Oh, nice. Smooth. We're gonna go talk to the bishop. They're wearing the same uniforms, right? Oh, well, that works. It kind of remind me of Inglourious Bastards. Just stone cold killers getting their shit done. Dangerous. Oh, shit. We're gonna have to kill some more. I don't love that we're leaving it, man. But okay. Is that gonna be end of episode? Fuck on a duck. Oh, is this leader? What? Oh, okay. We flipped over. Okay. This side, that's Anthony. Ha! Wait, that's the guy. We see him in the intro a bunch. But we're gonna meet him out of time. We have a totally different ED. It's a totally new show, guys. This is so weird. And we haven't, like, made the connections, really. We have the book, but it doesn't feel like things are all tied together. They're just waiting. Wow. Oh. I gotta say, I really like this style of OP with the credits rolling and these sort of airy watercolors. We got a lot of it in Dunmeshi, and for a simple format for an OP, I think it works really well. It can make emotional beats land as you bring up those images. Whoa. Or we're gonna shake it up. Printing press, right? I think I recognize that as a printing press, not a torture device. We've got church pews. And a dove or pigeon. Same. You're gonna hit that window, dude. But that's the whole idea, is you're freed from the bounds of the church, right? Through the window. And then we have the question of whose finger that is. This is awesome. It's so cool to be able to get kind of the feeling of starting a new show and all these questions about characters and where things are going and how things are going to interact. The ability to skip timelines, keep events and themes relevant to our history, to our characters, and have those pieces still be in play. Like, there's a chess game that's going on, but different players keep swapping out, and the board state keeps changing, but little bits and pieces continue on. Little victories, control of pieces, certain board states get locked in and get kept. But then you look away, you look back, and it's a different player playing a different player. And the game is advanced in a bunch of ways, and it's like, wait, what happened? How do we unpiece this? And the show knows that it's doing that, so it takes the time to jump back in time and build everything up. The sense that's kind of pervasive throughout this episode is that the church is failing. Like, its grasp on people's minds, on their consciousnesses, is failing more than it used to. It felt in previous seasons, chunks, like being a heretic was to be totally divorced from the rest of reality. Like, everyone who's around you when you walk through a town is part of the faith, and if you are not, then you're separate from them. Like, when Bedenia and Oxy are walking around town, they're walking around in their own world because they've moved on, and everybody else is stuck in the past. Here, it's like that feeling of, I'm not really sure about this whole church thing, is pervasive. It's through everybody. It's causing towns to erupt and brothers to kill brothers and all sorts of craziness to happen as the people themselves, not just individual scattered heretics finding science stuff to be intrigued by, but the people themselves turn against the wrongdoings of the church, the wrongdoings of the nobility, and the, clear and obvious wrongness of their current social status. Like, things are fucked up. We're getting exploited. The church preaches humility and preaches a lack of need for shiny things, and then they steal all our money and buy shiny things. Why does the church need all this gold and gilding? What is the purpose of all of this? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Why are they crushing us underfoot? This isn't the way of God. There's something wrong here. And then there are almost, how do I put it, like, more direct arguments about the faith in this episode than I think there are throughout most of the rest of the show. Like, direct one-to-one arguments. We have them in the Inquisition portion, we have them after that, we have them all throughout, are these ideas about the faith, ideas about what it means, and a particular idea presented or put forth by Schmidt that I find really interesting that he calls naturalism. And not in the sense of Charles Darwin, the naturalist, right? Like, naturalists are what we call an era of science, but naturalism in that nature is God, kind of, right? Like, reality is God. I want to go through that and I want to piece it out. There are a couple of lines that I want to take and just wholesale put into Google and be like, what philosophical school does this line exemplify? And then maybe be able to branch out, because I've got this feeling in the back of my head, like there's a very specific, very clear-cut philosophical and theological school that wraps up Schmidt's ideas that he's sort of representing moving forward, and I just can't put my finger on what it is. So, let's go ahead and move through the episode top to bottom. I really look forward to going through the OP and seeing what we see in the little details there, because there were some interesting things that I didn't quite catch. And then when we get to those philosophical moments, as opposed to like trying to really deeply investigate the truthiness of them or whether I agree with them or anything like that, I just want to understand them. I just want to get a picture of what Schmidt is saying. And if I can connect that to real world philosophical traditions, I think that will be my job done for this episode, because we'll see the emergence of like what actions and behaviors come out of those ideals in the future. But I want to understand the ideal really effectively, okay? So let's go through the episode. We start off, I think this does such a great job of rhyming with the past and yet being totally novel. We're on a cart, we're traveling through the countryside, we've got a hooded man in the cart and a bunch of masked dudes following, like alongside. It looks like he came in with these guys are his homies and they're pretending to be otherwise. That's cool. It's really neat. And we sit here in silence while this Inquisitor awaits us. He was not easy to capture. He's got quite a voice, too. Schmidt, though. I really like this shot. We don't do anything interesting with it. There's nothing special about it. I just really like it. I like the I like the way that these like archway things and stuff create a lot of complexity in the top of the frame. It's like being in a Costco style building where there are all those tubes and pipes and scaffolding and stuff up on the ceiling. It makes the room feel different to have all that shit up there rather than like big arched vaulted ceilings, you know? It's just interesting. It's weird. Almost feels like being inside a ship that's upside down, right? These are like the struts of the boat. I don't know. I know all about your organization. So this scene, I think, does a really good job of establishing who Schmidt is and building him up a little bit. We know all about you, Schmidt. You're serious business. And this gives us the opportunity for this Inquisitor character to tell us, the audience, all of these things in a way that just barely sidesteps the coffee table exposition problem that I talk about sometimes, which is two characters that know the same things, sit down at a coffee table and tell each other the things that they already know for our benefit, right? But in this case, it makes a lot of sense to me that the Inquisitor would lay these things out in front of him, kind of to be like, I've trapped you, I know all about you, I know exactly what you're up to, you and your blah 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 blah. But it does a really good job of expressing that to us, and I gotta give that a thumbs up, because I feel like it did it. I feel like it does it. Rather famous for carrying out that disgusting initiation test. And we can really hear it in his voice there. And this immediately raises the question, what's the initiation test? How disgusting is it? How evil and bad could this Schmidt guy be? And so when it actually occurs later, we're right on the edge of our seats, like, oh, is he going to force them to cut their own dicks off? Like, what is the disgusting initiation test? It's to say you don't believe in the Bible. That's it. Disgusting. Interesting. But just that, as a writing element, the fact that this guy calls that initiation disgusting, and then when we get to it, it's fairly simple, it's fairly straightforward, and even in its straightforwardness, the people that he's talking to aren't able to commit to it. It layers things in really interestingly with the way that the church sees the heretics, the way the heretics see themselves, the way that they're viewed by everybody. The whole thing gets a lot more complicated just because of the emotional tone that this Inquisitor brings to disgusting initiation. Well, why is it disgusting? What's so disgusting? Turning against the faith. That's what's disgusting. Turning against the orthodoxy of the church. That's what's disgusting. Saying you don't believe? How dare you? But killing and torturing people, chill. Cool, no problem. Saying you don't believe in this book? I'm sure you've been criticized even within your organization. So even amongst your peers, there must be those who disagree with the horrors of what you're doing. Is your goal to kill God? And we do all this delaying, all this silence around Schmidt gives him aura, gives him power over the scene. He chooses when he speaks. He's not speaking in response to the Inquisitor. He's speaking because he has the opportunity to, and he chooses to. Really subtle, but this moment, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back a few seconds. Gonna turn on audio. Is it your goal to kill God? 1, 2, 3. 3 full seconds before he says no. And then you're the ones who kill God. It's nothing, right? It's just 3 seconds, but it's 3 seconds longer than it could have been. And those 3 seconds say, I don't have to answer you. I don't care about you. But I will say what I need to say, because this is my opportunity to make my point. You were the ones killing God. Very straightforward. And fits, right? If God is something real, all of these interpretations, the orthodoxy, the almost habits, the norms, these are all man-made. They're not God-made. They're not of God. They're of us. And you're tacking them on and giving them authority by saying that they're of God. And there's a lie there. There's also something about the word choice, at least in translation. It makes him feel educated. It makes Schmidt feel like he knows what he's talking about in a way that it seems like the Inquisitors don't really expect to come from him. He's learned, right? He actually understands the scripture that he's turning against. And I think there's a place a little bit later where somebody quotes scripture. Was that Schmidt quoting it? Or was it, we're gonna have to find it. But there's a portion where the eye of the camel, eye of the needle. I have to figure out who actually quoted that. 1, I believe in God. Okay, so your presumption that I don't, wrong. 2, My aim is to restore God to a state unblemished by human ideas. We're the problem. God is pristine, which really tracks with the scripture and, like, the idea of God, right? It's like, God can't be tarnished, but we can tarnish the idea. Third, we must weaken the church orthodoxy in order to do that. Makes perfect sense, right? The church is the obstacle. They're the goalkeeper, and they have to be weakened. The authority has been wavering. The times are crying for change. He doesn't listen at all. Every word you utter leaves me nauseous. When what he has said is, I believe in God, God should be freed from human chains, and the orthodoxy of the church needs to be weakened to do that, and that's already happening. He doesn't take in any of it. It's all just antithetical. It's like, I can't hear you. Wow. So he calls him a heretic, and Schmidt retorts, do you mean a member of the faith who opposes church orthodoxy? If so, you're wrong. I reject all the church's teachings, regardless of faction. I reject all religions equally. I'd like to see them all disappear. So what do you call yourself? A naturalist. Anti-organized religion? Completely. But he believes in God, and he wants God untarnished by human bullshittery. A naturalist? I worship all things where God resides. I'm not interested in anything man-made. I have no need for your man-made teachings or salvation. Mine comes directly from God, right? Artificial God, out of the question. And, I mean, there's a really strong through line here, which is golden calves and false idols and stuff. You can call the church during this time out directly on the golden calves and false idols, because it is exactly what they're doing. Artificial God is a great way to put it. God exists beyond reason and is found within nature. Do you realize how many people have died from your misunderstanding? This is where I sort of lose things. But I get the line, how many of you killed by interpreting the scripture differently, all with blind faith in your own righteousness. That tracks perfectly. And then, with no response left, our Inquisitor gets up and goes, ha! You can say all these things, but we have you under our power. Soon you will curse your own fate, but that idea comes from a lack of faith. My God is absolute. My fate is determined by God. And I don't pray or hope for an answer. I accept my fate, whatever it may be, and therefore I am always at an advantage. The belief that I am where I need to be at any given time is a powerful belief. Interesting. I'm not sure if I want to go look for naturalism stuff here or a little bit later, because I think it gets expressed a little bit more in fullness a little bit later, so I'm going to keep moving. Words won't help you now, and he's still under... I thought we were going to Man in the Iron Mask this, and that thing was really fully stuck on. I think that would be really cool, to have like a faceless character leading this thing. Be neat. And we open on... Eyelash Boy. Holy shit. A new character, and he has just barely been introduced in this episode. Assuming that he is the little boy. I believe he is, but... Whoa. Okay, we've got... All these sketchy ones are going to be impossible to read. And then we open on... Oh yeah, there's Novak. And we open on this guy. Alone, no Novak, no second, no apprentice. Interesting. Is this one of the guys that we met before? One of the two? Because the other one was blonder, right? And Brunette Boy got killed, so I don't know. We'll have to find out. And then we have the cloths. We're working out here. That's rotoed, isn't it? Yeah, like 99.99% that's rotoscoped. Kind of cool. We have this shot, which takes over from Rafal. And looks like the mother, but I'm not sure that it is. This might be another character. We have the cross being tossed into the fire, and it's beautiful. The, like, edges of the nail with the broken nail and the lighting on the hand as it pulls through. It's really gorgeous. Same spinning earth scene. Rafal's eyes, Badeni at the noose. Oh, now we see it's Bedeni at the noose. Oh, that's Anthony, isn't it? That's Anthony. Now that we've seen him, I can recognize that that's his white-ass hair. Whoa. And then these folks, it turns out, are the Heretic Liberation Front. Fucking cool. This scene replaces the Oxy grabbing the book from grass. And then the coin flip replaces the ball falling, I think, and turning into an eye. That's Anthony. That's a question mark. I'm not sure what's going on here with the wraparound. I'm wondering if that's the necklace wrapped around and then held in the hand, because we get that scene immediately afterward. But the necklace is all scarred and scratched up now. Something about that is really amazing. We've seen characters get all scarred and scratched up, like Bedeni, like many people, but it's like the idea itself has been tumbling through history and getting damaged and dinged, but it still carries on. It's cool. We get this clutch of it, and then we open on this. Whose eyes are these, man? There is fire in them, but this guy's blonde. It could be Anthony, but I don't think that's what his eyebrows look like. I don't know. That's Yolenta. Just for a flash. And we get a lovely multicolor explosion. And there was something that flashed after this. Okay, there's Boy. Schmito. And question of who this character is reaching forward and pointing. It's unclear at the moment. It could be Boy's father. And it could be Schmidt. But I'm not really sure. And then we have some very familiar scenes. We see this guy, who now we see at the end of this episode, old. So we're going to jump back in time and find out more about him. Bloody coins. And familiar things. Wow, 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 wow. Operation begins! We know the guards are coming. No problem. So they set it out. That's really cool. Explosives. He's kind of taking the piss here, right? Instead, I propose an ingenious, sophisticated, precisely crafted, and innovative solution. It's like, he's memeing, right? Okay. Bakum! Man, getting this guy, reaching out and grabbing him, and just the sort of, excuse me, you're dead already. I don't need to be held back by you. Yikes. Let's get what we came for and move the earth. It has to be Yolenta involved, right? I guess Grabowski could be involved too. He could have started this shit. It has to be Yolenta, right? It's so clever to have liberated heretics here so that we can show the initiation ritual and like build more about this group. I think it's really clever. We wish to join because of you. Please let us join. Well, we'll give you the test. Here's the scripture. This book has been everything to you. Can you give it up? And I thought he was going to ask them to burn it, which is way further, right? Just declare that you don't believe in it. Just say it. I would have a hard time doing that without waffling. For basically any religious text, like, it's like, do you believe in the Upanishads? And it's like, yeah, it's a huge collection of incredibly valuable wisdom from esoteric traditions reaching back thousands of years. So yes, I do. I do think it's valuable. If I pulled up the Bible, I would have to do the same waffle. I'd be like, yeah, there are a lot of things in here that I absolutely believe in. I would have a lot of trouble declaring disbelief in a book. It's hard. But you can get what he's doing. His intent, he states it a little bit later, you have to be willing to change everything. You have to be, like, we need you in a state where you're able to change the world, because we're going to ask you to do things in order to make that happen. It's not a casual request. You must be ready to change everything from now on. But I promise you this, if you're able to give this book up, this false idol up, you will gain true order and a true God. the world will make sense to you, and you will not be worshipping a false idol. It's a pretty good deal, but impossible if your life is that book, and if your society is that book. It's so hard to even imagine that there could be another world beyond that, huh? Wow. But you cannot bring along your man-made order and God. 2 choices. You must be joking, but we only disagree with orthodoxy. Don't you hold the same beliefs? Yes, but I'm different. Only the positive rumors about me have spread, and he frames it as destruction, which I think is really interesting. Is destruction like this necessary? What are you talking about? Destruction of what? Of your, like, mental order? Maybe. But he's not destroying the book. And he's not destroying buildings. I did blow one up, but what does he mean, destruction? This gets at something. This declaration cuts out the foundations from underneath the church's power, doesn't it? That's fascinating. Destruction is all that is necessary. I don't know that I agree. But all impure man-made frameworks must be thoroughly destroyed. And we must live modestly in the natural world that is God's order. This is the line that I want to put into the Google. So then the next lines are about, but then we'd be nothing but ignorant animals. And he says, yes, and that's good. We actually can't understand truth, so we only have half-truths. Those lead to misunderstanding. That leads to tragedy. Natural tragedies, fine, and God's work, sort of, but unnatural tragedies caused by humans must not be tolerated, so please declare it now. And then they can't do it. Seems like I'm circling around Christian anarchism as, like, the core byline, whether that's Tolstoy or there is no king in Israel and everyone did as they saw fit. This idea of decentralized, sort of like horizontally structured individual relations with God and with the natural order of things, and a rejection of, like, structural concerns, both political and theological power systems. That seems close to what Schmidt is operating under. I thought I would type it in and I'd end up with, like, a straightforward, like this theorist, this philosopher, bam. But I didn't find anything quite so clear cut. Let's both be ready. I respect your decision for holding to what you believe. However, if it leads us to fight, we better be ready for it. He's such a badass. He's so cool. He's doubly cool because, unlike the church, he's willing to accept other people having other beliefs. His goal is not to convince everybody of everything. His goal is to build a movement, right? And he wants to acquire and bring in the people who are ready, and the rest he doesn't care about. He's not trying to change everybody's lives. He's trying to get people who are willing to change everything about their own lives and use them to change everything. Yeah? I like it. I like it. I like it. He just bleeds leadership. He just bleeds leadership. Beyond that, putting himself in the position of the caught one, right, is like a very leadery thing to do. It's cool. And we found the book. What have you found? Well, the earth moves. What about the names? Names? Wow. So who told Schmidt about the names? It has to be Yolenta, man. Maybe it could be Kapowski. I don't fucking know. Do we keep putting leader out there? It's gotta be Yolenta, right? This has gotta be a Yolenta reveal. I hope and I pray. I hope and I pray. This is the front's most important mission, is acquiring this book. It's gotta be Yolenta, man. Has to be. So they arrive at an abandoned village, and I'm unclear where things tie in. Is this village that we're about to see in the flashback portion? That's what the framing says to me. But then later they're like, all these villages dying of plague. So I don't know. 25 years earlier, the town itself has decided to burn the crosses. Wow. I really like the way his torch looks. It's like completely out of a different show. It's so beautiful. Burning all the crosses, and we, our little family, are hiding away and then escaping. Because things are not stable or safe here, right? Like, if we stay here, our whole town is going to get branded as heretics and we're going to get attacked by the church. If we stay here and we remain church aligned, people are going to come and fucking kill us, like our own brother. So we got to flee. So they flee. They've misunderstood. So we use that word again, right? Interesting. And then the brother appears. Hey, I came to check on you. Oh, it's just you. Our village has gone mad. So you'll go elsewhere? Yes, please join us. Can't. We're both hungry. And in that moment, he diverges into theory, right? Why is it that we're so poor? Isn't there something fucking wrong here? The nobility fights, the peasants dedicate our harvests. That's just how it is. I don't have time for this. I gotta go. Okay, sure. The nobility do their fighting. Fair enough. Maybe we disagree with it. The peasants do their part. That's cool. But what about the church? When we look at what's actually coming out of all of our effort, a lot of it goes into the church. And what comes out of that is words and golden things for the church and more wealth for the clergy. Something seems wrong here, especially when what they teach us is the opposite. Easier for a camel. Be diligent. Be humble. Live a modest life. Some would call this slave morality. Keep your head down, man. Don't be the tall poppy that gets chopped off. Do so and you will be saved. Live modestly. Don't seek for power. Don't seek for vengeance against others. Don't seek to elevate your station. Don't seek to bring others down. Do all of this. Stay humble. Stay happy with your lot and faith in life, and you will be saved. Or do all of these things, and society works really nicely for the people on top because they don't have to worry about the peasants rebelling, because the peasants don't believe in rebelling. They can't even turn against the book. They can't even say out loud that they don't believe in the book, so how could they turn against the social order? Yeah. But they are turning. You can only be crushed underfoot for so long before you start trying to claw up and bite the foot that's crushing you, you know? It's because we believe those teachings that we pay our tithes. But what about them? What do? They preach the honorable poverty and fill their bellies with our money. Pass out drunk, buy children. Yikes. Tell me, brother, why do they need all of these things? It's so good for me that what we do here is we turn the camera to the heavens, to the sky, the most beautiful thing in our show. And I mean, literally, it's the most beautiful thing in our show, I think. It's the scene in our show that ties everything together and exemplifies beauty and heaven and God. So we turn our attention up to this natural phenomenon that requires no money put into it, no gilding, no gems, no shiny things, nothing, right? Requires no paintings, no frescoes, no works of human creation to look up at the sky and be in awe and have the experience, the transcendental experience of God is looking up at the Milky Way and going, holy shit, I'm alive. That's God. Why do the churches need all of these things when the greatest cathedrals are out there for free? Oh, because those are people and they need those things and they want them and they're greedy and they're not actually God's messengers on earth. It's all a fucking lie. And he goes through all of his whys. Why do we have to stay quiet and accept things as they are? You're right, but if we turn violent, our village will all be labeled heretics. Okay, so we can't agree. And so he pulls a knife. Boom. And in an instant, things have exploded. This is what this conflict is doing, says the show. This conflict, this in-church faith conflict is causing brothers to kill each other in near cold blood over a disagreement in beliefs. Right? Right. Why don't you get it over with? Well, I'm giving you time to realize how wrong you are. Whoa. Say that the church orthodoxy is mistaken. And he dies. It's a meaningless act to keep him alive in this moment. It's very strange. He's dead. And then he sort of stumbles over to cause more pain, to kill the child, And the mother's there, and she sacrifices herself for his salvation, and he, clutching the cross, runs away. We get a kind of cool CG background here. Not like the best thing I've ever seen, but it's interesting. It's not something that we see a lot of in Orb. Every village is dead from the plague. But I guess we can use them from our missions. And we run into some church boys. Hi, church boy. It's so cool how he's confident in his team, so he just walks with the guy until he gets ambushed. Yikes, man. Oh, the little slip into the drawer is really clever, too. Wow. Oh, we should leave. Okay. And so we're off. We let the intruders escape. Bishop freaking Anthony. He's got... he looks like a 45-year-old CEO, you know? I totally see him in a hoodie and tennis shoes, showing up to a morning 5-minute stand-up being like, all right, everybody, what's going on? I worked for a guy who was very much like that. Oh, shit. And with him is a strange character who we have only seen in the OP. And he seems to be under duress, but he's helping. What will that be about? I think this one offers us a lot more. Huh. And we've got him in the ED, too. Bits and pieces. Huh. It feels like everything has changed, like our ideas have evolved one step further. Like the world's attitude has shifted in a way that might facilitate leverage, right? Like enough to move the world, like more willingness to listen, more willingness to change. And yet, the church is still entrenched in many of its forms, in many of its places, in many of its like realms of power. It still has that power. And these new characters that we've been introduced to are battling against that actively. And in a kind of a cool asymmetric warfare, kind of almost terroristy kind of way. I know that we don't like those things, but when we're on the good side, we really like asymmetric fighting against the big enemy, you know? And I think this is a really cool example of that, especially if it turns out that some of our core past characters are filling those leadership roles and driving the story forward and like seeking out the books over long stretches of time and all these things. I think that's really freaking cool. I like Schmidt as a like stone cold killer with a mind, with an educated mind. He kind of wraps up elements of Bedeni and Oxy all into one guy. And that excites me a lot. And then we have this younger boy who seems like he's going to be pivotal moving forward, but it's completely unclear how. And he's probably going to end up joining Schmidt in the HLA, Heretic Liberation Front. He's probably going to end up joining them because of the stuff he ends up wearing. But I don't know. I'm really curious to see how all these different threads come and get woven in with the strands of time from the past to create the tapestry of our future. Seems like a pretty interesting start here as we begin this chapter off. I'm really excited to see where it goes from here. And we're going to wrap there. Thanks so much for watching this week's episode of Orb with me and carrying on into the future. It's really exciting how this show continues to like breathe new life. It really is like a fire kind of dying out and then breathing oxygen back into it and breathing fuel back into it. And it's new and different each time. It's never quite the same. Really cool show. Wrap there. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you next week for the next one, or you can get early on the Patreon. Much love. Peace.